Well, hello. How's it going? It's been a little while, hasn't it? I haven't made a video for probably about a month, if not a little bit longer. And I don't think I've made a Virtuoso video in about 2 months. But there's been a lot of changes. There's been a new update, so I thought it would be a good time to make a video about this app. Just talk about some of the new stuff that's in here. I think so. We're actually on version 0.5.1 because they released a hot fix, but the version 0.5 I think was the kind of big update. So they made an announcement about this on their Discord, and yeah, they're all super active as they normally are, just talking about this, and there seems to be a load of new people that have come in and started playing with it as well, so that's a lot of fun. So the main change with this, or most of these instruments I think have pretty much stayed the same. I think the board might have changed a little bit different in the way that it handles the scales, because you can set a scale here. Like a global scale. So I think that's been changed, the way that handles it. Something to do with the microphone. I can't remember what they changed, but I think the main change is this songs library in here. So this is cool because this is kind of like a patch sharing thing, but it's more for sharing your loopers really. So you the way you make music in Virtuoso, if you haven't done it yet, is you build up things with these instruments that you've got like this. So you might have this harp like this. And what you can do is you can hit this start and recording like this, and you can just be like... And that wasn't the best loop in the world, was it? But now you see that's created a half a bar loop for me, which I can then go over and just add some stuff to the top. That was a bit... I'll do, but yeah, so that's the way that you create music in Virtuoso, is you're building up these kind of audio loops. So I guess it's kind of bouncing. If you were talking about it in the terms of a normal DAW, you've got your like MIDI aspect, which would be the actual playing in of the instrument, and then that's going to, once you record into this looper, it's going to bounce an audio track. So you're kind of committing to it. Once you've recorded that sound, the only thing you can do actually at the moment in a looper is you can change the volume of it like this. So that's the harp that I recorded. I can stop and start it individually, and I can do the volume. So yeah, my next big want out of this app is to have some more control at this end. So I know that they probably can't give us full MIDI editing capability, because the issue that you have with that is that once you've got more than one synth, maybe you've got 10 synths, if it's running on the Quest, and maybe even PC VR when you've got VR going on as well, it's very hard to allow real-time playing, even in a normal DAW, never mind one that's trying to do 3D VR stuff at the same time, which is quite intensive. To offer like that behind-the-scenes editing of tracks once you've committed them would be very difficult, because you'd have to have a big computer to allow you to have that kind of flexibility. But I think what they could do, and what I'd like to see, is maybe they could add some effects options to this. So maybe I could have a filter on this, a basic filter, just so I can sweep out the low end or sweep off the highs. Maybe there could be one band or two bands that I could subtract from the sound as well, because my main thing is that once I start building this up, and obviously that's a bad loop, but that's already quite full, isn't it, on its own? A lot of bass in there. So I'd like, if I could, to be able to just scoop out some of that low end. There has been talk from the developers, and like, don't get me wrong, the developers for this are super cool. Like they're really working hard on this stuff, and they really are listening to people. So definitely come along to the Discord server, which I'll put into the link down below, but as probably most of you watching this probably already know about that, but definitely come along and have a chat to them, because they will listen. So yeah, I'd love to see some little basic filtering or kind of EQ on this, and maybe what would be cool is if you could add a little bit of reverb or echo, because you can put that on the sound themselves, but it'd be cool if you could add that afterwards onto this, because then when you're stopping and starting like this, you could stop it and then have like a tail that comes on the end of it. You could be like, and then echo it when you stop it, just to make it a little bit less dead when you're stopping and starting stuff. So what I'll do now actually is we'll take a look into this song library thing here, which I hadn't added any of my own until just this afternoon. I've created one, but I'm not going to play it to you. As you can see, it is aptly named the #1 hit of the summer, inspired by one of my favourite bands, Queens of the Stone Age. But I would just like to point out that this is in no way supposed to be any reflection of Queens of the Stone Age or anything about them. I just thought that name was very fitting for the quality of the song that is sitting behind this button. But I'm not going to play it. You have to come on here and click it yourself and just get ready for it. All right. So what else have we got in here? There's let's have a look in here. So this is a good one. This is Omen, and I'm pretty sure that this is one of the developers that made this. So let's have a listen to this one. So you probably recognize that, right? And that was probably quite loud for you. So what you do is you load it up like this. And then I'm just going to turn it down a bit. So as you can see, all the layers are here on this looper. So you can stop the whole thing, which will just literally stop every little piece. But what you can then do is, just in this, you can with any kind of multi-track recording, you can come in here and you can individually, play these pieces and work out what they are. One thing I think they should add, you can rename these groups, right? But I don't think you can rename individual tracks. You can move them, but if you could rename them, that would help a lot, especially for these shared songs, because I've got to work out what these things are. You can do that by clicking on them, but it would make sense if you could label them, I think, individually. In saying that, I also think, and I do need to point this out, I can't remember if I've mentioned it, I'm not a fan of this keyboard system. It's very, it's just quite slow to type on, and now it's disappeared. Where's it gone? Oh, there it is, right. So you have to literally do this. You can't even click on the buttons, I don't think. I mean, there's been a few things that I didn't realize you could do, so I might be wrong. But yeah, it would be nice, because you can click on the controls like this with a, you don't need to be touching them. So why not have the same for the keyboard? I'd much rather be able to just go with my fingers like this, because trying to type, let's just try and type something. So this is a little awkward. You see? I mean, is it just me, or is this a little bit awkward? I think this is a little bit awkward, and I'm not a fan of that typing mechanism. I just think you could keep this keyboard, allow this to happen, but still just let me click like this would make my life a lot easier, because it doesn't make sense that I can click like this, but I can't click like this. So if I want to change that remotely, I can do that. I can't stop and start the recording, but I can change the loop length. So I think you should probably be able to start the recording by clicking on it like that. And I think you should be able to press these buttons like this. And I think you should be able to angle this keyboard differently. You can make it bigger and smaller. So you can angle it. Sorry. Okay. You can angle it. Sometimes you just got to try. So that's okay. So you can angle it. So that makes it a bit better if you want a different angle. But yeah, so if I can click that, it'd be nice if I could click the buttons, but that's a small thing. But anyway, let's have a listen to what's in here. So it sounds like he's done a kind of, these are all kind of a layered bass synth, just building up that nice sort of stereo kind of thing. That's your kick and your snare. This one, cymbals. This one is probably just a fill or something. There you go, some little kind of like toms, and they call them car doors in this. And there's some snares. I like that. So you see how he's kind of doubled this, so on its own, but then he's doubled it, which creates a really nice unison kind of sound. So that's cool. And then this, and actually he's done 3 layers. Yeah, nice. That's almost like a slightly detuned one, isn't it? And then I think down here, there's just a group of kind of stuff that does a fill, I think. So I think there might be, I think there's some more little drum bits here. Yeah, just kind of like snarey clack things. And then I think he's also added in a little synth fill here. So you see it has to work its way all the way around. It would be cool if you could see, wouldn't it? There it is. Da-na. Yeah, I mean, it's a small bit, but bits like that really make it sound familiar. They make it sound like the actual track, which sounds like this. Tune. It must have taken him ages to do this. I'm well impressed with that. It's very clean, very nicely done. I haven't managed to make anything like this yet. With practice, maybe. But yeah, wouldn't it be cool if I could click into this and say like, what's in here, and like look at the waveform, and then maybe even like edit the waveform. I mean, that would be next level, wouldn't it? If you could have like an actual waveform editor, maybe you could warp bits of the wave. I don't know. Like, I mean, I know that's probably pushing it, but it would be super cool. And a man can dream, can't he? A man can dream. So that's good. And this songs library thing is pretty easy to navigate. I like the fact that they've done this, these different ways of doing it. You've got the most downloaded. You've got highest rating. See, I don't believe why I only uploaded this afternoon and mine's coming up as the highest rating, or maybe that's because I'm actually the lowest rating. I don't know. Maybe it's the highest rating that I might have accidentally given myself 5 stars, so maybe it's because of that. A to Z obviously is just going to be the name, but newest. So I don't quite understand what's happening with this newest, because there's definitely Omen looks like it was uploaded on. I mean, this is the weirdest date format in the world, isn't it? The year first, followed by. Is that the month or the day? That's got to be the day, isn't it? The 12th, the 5th, because I'm pretty sure this update only came out in May. So, yeah, pretty sure. Yeah. So the first number is the year. The second number is the day, and the third. It's like a weird reverse American, isn't it? I'm not a fan of that. Being British, and having my date in a logical order. But anyway, small thing. So what have we got here? I think I listened to this one earlier. So Glitch, he uploads a lot of stuff, and he's always on the Discord. So definitely chat to him, because he kind of knows his program really well. And it looks like he's uploaded loads of stuff on here. So I think on this one he's actually added some vocals, which is very cool, because I haven't heard many people doing vocals on this yet. So I think there's going to be a lot of room for doing that. So let's have a little listen to this one. So I'm going to load it up. Sorry, I don't really like the way it plays it straight away. I'm leaving. So I was having quite a lot of fun with this one. I kind of stripped it back, so took out some of the bits, and then if we take the vocals out, not that I don't like them, but like this actually reminds me a little bit of like a Hot Chip song. There's a Hot Chip song that sounds a little bit like this, and I like it. So with the vocals, what I was doing was I was kind of doing this. And then what you can do is you can bring it back in to all the bits that you've taken out.
Cannot sleep without realizing I'm leaving while somebody dies there. I fall fraction of what I receive.
That's good. It's a really nice little jam that he's done there. And it's really cool that he's done some singing on it as well, because, like I say, it really adds a bit of kind of feature to these tracks. It would be really nice again. So, like I know I said this before, it would be cool, like on these vocals, for instance, if I could add a bit of reverb to these post, what the recording, then we could do really cool stuff with this. So you see, because there is a bit of reverb on this. There is some reverb on the vocal, because actually, if you make a microphone, for those of you that haven't done it yet, and I forgive me for the poor vocals I'm about to give to you, but my microphone's over here for some reason. Hello, right? So there's quite a bit of latency on this for me, and I'm doing this over the cable, so I might have to have a play and see if I can get less latency, because at the moment I find this quite hard to record to a beat. But yeah, so you can turn the reverb down like this. Funnily enough, when you turn the reverb down, it seems to completely kill your monitor, so you don't hear the dry signal at all. And maybe that's why it sounds so latent. I don't know. Let's turn off proximity, maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's weird, because if I actually get the recorder, which is actually already here, isn't it? Oh, yeah. So if I get the recorder, and I'm just going to delete this stuff out. Not that I don't like it, just because I'm starting something new, mate. If I record this, you will actually hear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here. 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is recording the drive signal, isn't it? 4, 5. Here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here. You see how that one's got reverb here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, that's brilliant, isn't it? What a track that is. So, yeah, it would be cool if you could record your voice and then add effects to it afterwards. I think would be a lot of fun, because then you could do some really like cool, like dubby delays and things like that. You know, make a beat and then just faff about with delays and stuff. Because in that, things like dub would really lend themselves quite well to the way that this program has been set up with this kind of mixing style. Yeah, equally, I think, and this is something that I have talked to the developers about, and I'm pretty sure they're intending on trying to incorporate something like this, would be kind of the way that these plays and stops work. Let's just load in another track so that I can kind of demonstrate what I mean, but you probably know what I'm saying. Let's try, actually, I quite like this one. I'm going to load this up. This is a tune, mate. So, so on this one, can I still hear that beat? Okay. So yeah, so he's done like the beat in this group here. So it would be cool if like I could add, let's say I took this out. You see how it automatically plays as soon as I click with my trigger, it brings that in. But what would be cool is if you could say, like on Ableton, where you say bring it on the bar, so you play it but it cues it up until that kind of point, which I guess you could choose on the loop length here. Maybe you have like a global launch tempo or something, and then maybe you could say, right, it's going to be on the bar like this, so every bar, and I press play, it won't bring that piece of the music in until that bar comes around, because that would make it easier for like kind of creating scenes. And equally, it would be cool if you could have different scenes, so you could have a drum beat that's doing this, but then there's like a variation to it, like a variation B, a variation C, and then you could have different drum beats for different sections and stuff. But that is something that I know they're talking about. So that would be really fun, I think, because the downside with this at the moment is like we've got this track here, but it's very hard, to like take this anywhere else without getting very creative with. I mean, you can take your kick drum out for a little bit, and you could add a bass drum or something, another bass line or something like that. Yeah, but I mean, I'm not saying you can't have fun with this, because you can absolutely have fun with this. I mean, there's so many tracks on here. Sick beat. That's pretty clean, actually, isn't it? Like, this sounds like well sequenced. It's much better than anything I've come up with. It's very feel good. It's feel good, man. Cool. Yeah, so loads of stuff to come and have a look at in here. So I recommend that you come and do that, especially this one that's called I Have Brain Damage. And then this one's called Stroke. So is that to do with this? Okay, I mean, yeah. Oh, that's quite good. What's the,
All of it up, bro. That's so crazy.
Yo, bro, have you heard the new season of Fortnite?
Oh god, that was a bit rough. Yeah, all right. I'm not sure. This guy's made loads of ones. Look. So the same person that made this nice relaxing piece, and this.
Really good. I think Cheetos are really
Yeah,
good.
it's for my mama Tommy when. Yeah, it's for my mama Tommy.
I don't want to hear his lyrics. Oh, I like this one. See, some of these don't load anything. Wow. I mean, are they sampled these vocals in, or are they singing this live? Because, I mean, if they're singing that live, then it's impressive. It's strange. The volume seems to really fluctuate on the microphone. I mean, that sounds like it's been sampled in to me, but I don't know how they've done that. So that's pretty cool. I'll have to try that actually, using this as like a sampler. But yeah, it would be super cool if you could sample something, bring it in directly. You could bring it in from a DAW or something, a different synth or an instrument on your computer. And then you could record like a one shot and then play it back with this kind of interface. Would be amazing. Even like your voice, just recording like little one shots, like singing things and stuff, and then you could bring that in on like an interface and like morph it in real time. Well, that would be really cool, wouldn't it? Cool. Well, I probably don't need to go through every song in the song library. I mean, you just come in and have a play yourself. There's loads of cool stuff on here. I just think it's a really good feature, and I'm glad they've put it in. So let's move on to the next part of the video, which, and I haven't structured this in any way, by the way. I thought we could just have a little look at my approach to making music in this. And I'm a complete noob at this at the moment. But I know some people like to watch other people and how they work and stuff. I think I like to watch other people making music in various apps because it gives me inspiration to try stuff. So I'll give you my disclaimer. It's not going to be the best thing you're ever going to see. Maybe it will be. Maybe your bar is very low, and that's okay, because I can deliver that. Right. So I've made this loop here. I'm gonna delete all the loops inside it. And what I'm going to do is, what shall I start with? So what I've been doing recently actually is, and you can move this around by just clicking in it and grabbing with your grip. And at the moment, what that's doing, if you're not aware, is that's waiting for a sound. So as soon as I hit something, that's recorded it. And it won't stop recording it, I think, until I press stop. So because I only recorded one bass drum there, that's a bit slow, isn't it? So you can actually just delete it like this. So what I'll do is, what I've been doing recently to kind of get a quick bass drum down, especially if you just want like a 4/4 bass drum, you just hit one bass drum like this, and then just hit stop on the record. I mean, that's probably a little bit too quick. See, this would be good, wouldn't it? If I could do that and then change the tempo, but I don't think I can do that. Can I? Manual BPM. No, actually, I think there can't be anything in your looper to do the manual BPM. So that manual BPM. So that's already got a BPM. It'd be quite nice to hear a metronome though, wouldn't it? Actually, but I've not done much of this. So can I change change that? Yeah, I can. So let's go at 115. So if I mean, I was a bit off, but what you can do is you can just click restart and I'll just get rid of it. Let's just try one more time. You can also grab these out somehow. Like that, yeah. So let's restart that. Awaiting sounds. So you can't hear this, but I've put on the haptic metronome. So you see on my controllers there, it's going tap, 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 tap. But it would be nice to hear a metronome, I think. Just a good old like cowbell woodblock sort of thing, because it makes it much easier to play along to. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's my playing. It's terrible. But yeah, because there's a bit of latency, I do find it quite hard to do that. So what I often do is get rid of this manual BPM and then just kind of go in like this. So, and then at least you've got a steady pulse to start with. And I can feel now the haptic metronome is going at about the speed I wanted it to. And then you can just add in the other stuff on the top. I'll try and do it manually without the sync first. It's a little bit off, isn't it? But what you could also do with the hi-hat, for instance, you could do similar to the bass drum. You could just be like... I mean, that's a little bit off. Seems a swung to it. You see what I mean? You could just build up a beat by doing that. I'm just going to change this hi-hat sound. Oh no, I've double bass drummed. Yeah, if you're not careful, you'll like overdub when you don't want to, so you just got to make sure you stop that recording. But once you get used to it, I do quite like this system. I think it works really well, and I like the way you can do this this weighting thing, because it makes it so much easier to play. What I think they should add, what I think would be really useful, is if you could make it so currently it's quite easy to overlap your sounds. So if you do like this, if you do this, you see it keeps recording over and over and over again. What would be good, I think, is if you could say, right, record for one loop and one loop only. So when it gets to that endpoint, stop the recording, I think. Because at the moment, sometimes you're recording like a synth part. So for instance, if I had a bass drum like this and I was going to play a organ like this, and I'll just do something like a kind of bass line, I suppose. Let's give it these sticks. So something like that, right? So I'm going to do that. That's not the best example. Let's try again. This sounds quite good. Let's try to do a longer one. And it'd be nice if I could quickly get back to the start of the loop. Would be good as well. That actually worked quite well, I think. still a rogue bass drum over here that I need to get rid of. Change that hi-hat to a different sound. Hi-hat. Okay. It's probably a bit long, actually. Let's try again. Nah, man. Maybe I should do the tempo sync. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. There we go. You can see how, like, with this tempo sync thing, you can sort of make sure you're locking into that grid beat, I suppose. I mean, they were talking about adding some kind of side chaining to this. I mean, that would be really good if I could side chain this. Side chain this now to the kick drum would obviously be a good use. I mean, even being able to automate, adding some automation to the audio like this would be useful, wouldn't it? If you could sort of say, right, I've recorded this, but now I want to automate this volume, so I want it to be like more whirry, so I can come in like this. Yeah, so I mean, that would be good. And then obviously I could add some stuff over the top. And you see how this hand is doing the filter. Yeah, all right, well, that's enough of that one. I'm actually going to start a new one because I'm not entirely happy with this. So I think the way that you start a new one is you come here and you say, new song, please, confirm. And that will then get rid of your nonsense, or not nonsense, depending on what you've been doing. So here's my looper, bring this back in. Why is that not moving? I get so confused with the controls on this. Sometimes you grab to move, and that seems to be working now, but it didn't seem to work a second ago. But clearly I was just pressing it wrong. Maybe it's because I was doing this. I don't know. I'm sure it's user error, but there's a few times when things don't move exactly how I'd like them to move. So, okay, let's start with this then. Drum beats, beats. What? How do you grab the bass drum like that? So you don't connect with it. Maybe that's my issue because I keep going in like that. But now that works. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong there. But go in, grab. So if I delete this, okay, and then create it again, will that work this time? Works this time. So clearly I was just holding it wrong. But now this isn't moving. But that's because I need to point at it like that. Yeah, I don't know. It's something weird going on there. All right. So my other gripe with this new update, and I know they're going to sort it out, but there was a way to bring your own samples into Virtuoso, and I was having quite a lot of fun with that because it's good that we've got these samples built in, but for my preference, there's not really a bass drum here that I like a lot. I mean, that's quite sort of noisy. And then you've got this one, which is very sort of subdued. And then you've got, where's it gone? There it is. So you have to bring that up. You've got this one that's just kind of quite flat. And then you've got this one, which is more of you like, it's kind of a boomy. So it's on the way to being an 808, but there's no real like boom to it. It'd be nice if it had like some boom sort of bass drum, because I think the trick to making good sounding beats when you haven't got that many options in terms of sound design is to have kind of quite powerful samples already recorded, maybe with a lot of processing on them. So you can have a real like boom bass drum and then some real like fat snare that could kick over the top with like a snare and a clap and some glass breaking or something all on one hit, you know, and then you can be like, feel like some kind of powerful god. But yeah, so that's the bit that's the drawback for me at the moment with this software, is that it's just not that flexible in terms of what you can do with your drum sounds. And I think they're very important. So I'm sure it will get changed. But yeah, just being able to pitch these individually would be really cool. Because at the moment, I mean, I don't know what note that is, but that's sitting... Oops. Didn't mean to press that. Get rid of that looper for a second. That's sitting on a... I think if we grab a organ and then we tell it to do... What's the notes across? It's the red ones. So if I make every note on the scale, I think... I mean, that's more than an octave now. So that's definitely got a note to it, isn't it? It's like... Maybe there? But yeah, it'd be nice if I could change the pitch of this to fit with whatever my root note is. It's hard to, when you're playing drums with VR, if you look away, it's quite hard because you're not getting any, like, obviously any haptic feedback really, other than a little bit of a vibrate on the controller. I mean, that's kind of impossible to integrate until you start adding in gloves and all sorts of silly things, feedback kind of gloves. Yeah, because you're not seeing it, it's quite easy to miss it because you're like doing this. And also, I'm not quite sure what happens with the tracking on the Quest. I'm using the Quest 2. So I think actually if you look away, and I found this a lot. Oh, that's cool, isn't it? I actually hadn't noticed that moves in time to the music. That's quite good, isn't it? So I'd like to see more of that. See, this isn't moving now. There we go. So they all kind of bounce a little bit when you hit. So it's fine when you're just doing a steady beat, but it always feels like it's a little bit latent. Now, this could be my connection. I'm using a wired, a USB-C cable directly into the motherboard, or no, actually, it's into the graphics card. Yep. So I'd like to think the latency of my connection would be quite low, but I know some cables are different. Depends on your motherboard, all sorts of stuff, what kind of latency you're getting with the VR connection. But it's not bad, is what I will say. So, it's perfectly playable. It's just if you're used to playing a real drum, you're probably going to find it not so responsive, but it's good enough. And like I say, you can do this this kind of tempo sync thing. So let's try again, shall we? Let's just make something. I'll try not to talk so much because that's what I kind of tend to do, isn't it? Just shut up. Just shut up for a minute. Okay, I'm going to shut up now, please. Okay. I'm just going to redo that. Oops, no, that was too quick. I mean, it'll do. It'll do. Okay, so we've got that going on. Bring a hi-hat over. I'd like it if you could summon objects towards you. I don't think you can. So if I could grab that like this, and then come back here. Like at the moment, I have to grab them like this. It'd be nice if you could use your joystick to move the object around. I'm talking again, aren't I? Yep. Okay. I'm just going to change that sound. I'm not the biggest fan of that noise. I might just go simple. Maybe some ride. See, that's not grabbing anymore. There it is. Okay. Slightly out of time ride cymbals. I mean, that'll do, won't it, for now? Get rid of this. Grab, come on, man. Work with me. See, I think it would be good if you could start the recording by hitting it. So let's do this. Why did it do that? I don't know, but let's get rid of it. Can't hear the mic. Hello? Yeah. proximity makes it really quiet.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Are you feeling this? I know I am. I'm feeling this beyond belief. Let's bring this back. Let's go. So I'm going to try and record this like really long loop now. Make it really long loop, like really long loop. Yeah, okay. I'll try a 16 bar, yeah? Yeah. Oh yeah. Damn, son. Get ready. Come on, count me in. Here we go. Here we go. effects for this, man. Let's go, let's go. Gonna like bring this down now. Struggling to get two-hand control here. I don't know why that is. Let me delete this. I don't know why I can't do two-handed control. Like literally earlier in this video I did two-handed control, didn't I? Let's go, one less blast. Beautiful. I mean, this is probably my proudest ever work. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, let's bring this down, yeah? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that was amazing, wasn't it? Wasn't that whole thing just amazing? So if you're still here, And I don't know how many minutes we're into this recording, but I'm going to leave it there now because I've got a bit of a hot face. And I think that's a good time to leave it. As you can see, I've put 2 of my amazing tracks up on here. I look forward to hearing all your amazing tracks. And oh yeah, so if you haven't done it yet, come onto the Discord server for a starter. What's happening is the devs are organizing these little community jams, and like every few weeks or something. I think there's been a couple so far. I actually haven't yet performed at one because I'm an idiot. And the first time I didn't manage to get my setup right in time. And then the second time I got the day wrong. And then I couldn't come along to the day it was actually on. So next time I promise to do everything in my power to actually try and perform live at the thing. But everyone's really welcoming. Like you don't even need to play. So if you just want to come along and watch people play and see how they use and then ask them questions, you can use your microphone or you can speak in the text. You don't even have to speak on your microphone if you don't want, but it's nice, I think, if people do. Like I say, I'm no part really of the kind of the lead behind this. I'm not developing any of this. I'm not organizing any of this, but I just really want to see this succeed. And I think it will succeed. You know, it doesn't need my help to do so. I mean, I'm hardly a heavyweight in the YouTube world. What are we on? I actually haven't made a video in so long now. It's been like a month and a half. And I think my subscribers have gone up while I've been away. So I do appreciate it. And if you like what I'm doing, then and you haven't already, then just give us a like on this video, and then subscribe to the channel. And I will try and keep making more. This is never going to be my full-time gig, but it's something I enjoy doing and I'm quite passionate about. And I think it's only going to get more exciting. Like we're still really in the early days of what you can do with this stuff, but with development teams like the guys behind this. Virtuoso, I think we are going to be in no short supply of amazing stuff. In the next year, we're going to have some amazing stuff. We already have some amazing stuff. It's just going to get more amazing. So on that positive, hopefully cheery note, I'm going to leave you. And I hope I'll make my next video. Won't be such a big gap in between. But either way, let me know how you're getting on. Ask me, send me messages if you want to see me cover anything in particular. If you know of an app that I haven't actually covered on my channel yet, I'd appreciate if you could let me know about it, and I'll see if I can have a go. I do tend to buy all the apps that I try just because these guys need the support, and at the end of the day, I'm not a freeloader. I genuinely enjoy this stuff. But yeah, let's see how we go, eh? All right, cool. See you later. Bye.